Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about my story. How did I actually get to being a YouTuber in the first place, and how did I get to this popularity and academic level that I am? Something that's kind of on my mind and I've wanted to do a video about. I know I finally get the chance. On schedule too, but I lied about my schedule, and I've done 2 videos already today. I'll link those 2 videos down in the description. So anyway, let's get into the story, shall we? So it all starts when I was about 2 or 3 years old, and you know how when you're a baby, you get a bunch of vaccines? Yeah, well, I got way too many of those, and got an adverse reaction, which kind of forced me, to stop talking and mess with my brain. So, yeah, that is terrible for me. And I'm not saying this is an anti-COVID. I'm not saying COVID will do the same thing. But, yeah. So, my mom was looking for ways to solve this problem. And then she remembered that she was a therapist. So, she decided to use Mnri Therapy on me. Now, if you don't know what Mnri Therapy is, it's basically stands for Mosquitova Neurosensorometer Reflex Integration. And if you know what neuro is, then you know it has to do with the brain. And it's basically trying to get my brain senses back together. And there's this Russian therapist who I've actually met before, and I've met her daughter, who wanted to help children get past trauma, and she hated the approach for cognitive approaches, and it was only useful for adults. So, looking at Mnri Therapy, basically, what it is again, reflex integration, and it basically works like it says, like all modalities and various therapeutic approaches, Mnri Therapy assesses the child as an individual, taking into consideration their motor, emotional, and sensory performance and needs. Mnri can make up an entire therapy session, or it can be coupled with motor exercises to promote the functional use or integration of certain reflexes. So, that's basically what Mnri is. And I'll link the website where I got this from, just a quick Google search, in the description. So, yeah. And that actually ended up working, but when I got to pre-K, I was still in speech therapy, like special education. And this is where I met my friend, the Gamer Dump, or we're gonna call him Joe. Well, if you watch the other video, the Funky Friday gameplay video, then you'll know his name is Joel. That's where I met him, in pre-K, because we were both in speech, and we discovered that we lived pretty close to each other. And we haven't been in a class since, technically, which is, really weird. It's kind of stupid that we haven't been together, even though we're best friends. I guess that's kind of not how school works. The day will come. But anyways, I was in speech, do pre-K, and I was in speech for a while, and I was pretty smart even though I was in speech. But they still thought that because of the language delay that I had, the teacher still thought that I should stay in pre-K until I was 6. And then I went to Montessori School, which is like kind of a summer school, basically. Yes, a Montessori education, a system of education for children that seeks to develop natural interests and activities rather than use formal teaching methods. And it says that it emphasizes independence and it views children as naturally eager for knowledge and capable of initiating learning in a sufficiently supportive and well-prepared learning environment. Again, that's just kind of a quick Google search about Montessori education. So I went to that school, and they found that I was like a really cool student and like a really smart student in that environment. And they recommended that I should go to kindergarten normally at 5 years old. So I did. And yeah, I kind of just adapted, and I was still in speech. I was still in speech. So, still being in speech would be, through kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, and then there's this one specific week in 2nd grade, which I will hate for the rest of my life. I hate that weekend. I hate that week more than any other week in history. It was in 2nd grade. You know, this was actually the 1st grade where we slipped into blocks, where we had different teachers for different subjects. I started out with ELA and social studies, then went to math and science. I'm kind of flipped on that nowadays in 7th grade. But we went to different classes and we had 2 different teachers. Well, I started with ELA and social studies first, right? And then the school, for no reason other than to stay with my speech friends, told me to literally switch classes with like some warning, but literally I was not prepared for that. And it was such a confusing week. It was confusing for everybody else. And it was like, I believe it's a Thursday of that week. I'm walking on Miss Page's class. And this girl named Haley, who we're going to call her, not real names. None of the names that I'm mentioning are their real names. She comes up and she sees me walking back into Miss Merritt's room because obviously I was supposed to be in Miss Merritt's class. I'm sorry. Well, yeah. Walking into the teacher's room, because obviously I was supposed to be in that teacher's room going to the teacher that I just came out of. And she was like, Will, get out. You're supposed to be going to math and science. And I tried to explain to her that I swapped classes. And I tried to do that, and I just walked into the class. And then from that moment on, I just realized that this was not going to work out. This was the stupidest thing ever. So I went to my mom and told her about it. And then she was just like, screw, let's just discharge all speech. So I was finally out of speech. Yay! But yeah, it was kind of a slow start, and I had to go build back up, including the only assignment on record that I got an F on. The only assignment. So, yeah. So, But then came 3rd grade, where I wasn't in anything. I wasn't in anything, and I just kept going, and I liked to talk more to the teachers because I was so smart, and I was bored because I would finish my work really fast, so I would just talk to the teachers, and sometimes I would get even separate assignments because I was, charming the teachers. And they couldn't do anything, I guess, in 3rd grade. And then in 4th grade, they finally tested me. They finally did end up testing me for gifted in 4th grade. It finally came where I had 3 teachers, and I guess one of them tested me. Or I guess all 3 of them did. But I finally got tested for gifted, and I was identified in 4th grade, and then that is where I finally met 3 friends, which I will never forget. They're still with me today here at my middle school in 7th grade. Nikki, Jason, and Omani. Well, they're not their real names, as I said. You can comment down below what you think their real names are. So, yep. And then there was this other girl, Kaylee, who was also in there, and she was also a really sweet girl. I don't know what happened to her. But yeah, I think that, and I'm still in gifted to this day in 7th grade. It was in 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th I've been a gifted. Compared to pre-K, kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd, I was in speech. And 3rd, I was just in nothing. So, in 8th grade, I will spend more time in gifted than I will have in speech. That 3rd grade was kind of just a buffer year, trying to build up so I could get into gifted. And it was late 4th grade I was identified too. So, yeah. It's kind of an interesting story that I haven't gone very much into detail about. But that's my story of how I went from being a sped kid to a gifted kid. I was a shell of what I am now. Because back then I wasn't that popular. I was kind of popular, to be honest, but I really wasn't. And now I have glasses, which was also in 3rd grade, that buffer year, where I got my glasses, which supposedly made me smarter. I have no idea. It may be true. It may be not. I feel kind of a difference, but at the same time, not really. Maybe losing a bit of my eyesight was a good thing. So, yeah. Without that 3rd grade development year, I got my glasses, made some friends. Now, I'm actually one of the most popular kids. I almost won Student of the Year. I was a Student of the Year candidate in 5th grade, and I might be again if 6th grade doesn't scar me and prevent me from doing that. I had trouble adjusting in 6th grade, but I eventually got it together in 7th grade. But I'm still like one of the most popular kids in the school. Maybe the most popular. That's debatable, and I don't think I am. But most popular kid in 7th grade, to be sure. And I think that was all because I was with that trials and tribulations and my mom's business. That wouldn't have happened without that. So, a lot of things wouldn't have happened if not for that, adverse reaction, and not for that Mnri, and not for that language delay. If I were just a normal kid, maybe I would just be treated as normal as I was. Without gifted. Maybe I would just be treated as normal as I was. Maybe my mom wouldn't have her own business. Maybe I wouldn't be in gifted. I definitely wouldn't be in speech. It's interesting to think about what could have happened, but unfortunately, I have to end this video here. Go check out Optimus's channel. I got the inspiration from him, and I'll link my channel in the description. Go watch the other 2 videos that I uploaded today. That'll be the second Baylor Buccaneers video, and then my 32-minute gameplay video. So, just goodbye, and I'll see you next time.